Joe Biggs. And I think I've got my my buddy on standby right now, Morgan. Is he patched in? All right, let's get Morgan on real quick. He's someone who's always got some really good stuff to say. Hey, Outlaw Morgan, you there?
Yes, man. How's it going, guys?
What's going on, man? What do you think about what's going on right now with this whole election, man? Like, you know, what's going through your mind as someone who's out there every day like I am, like we are here at Infowars, you know, reading the news, doing these videos. What do you see? What do you foresee happening?
Well, you know, man, I'm no Nostradamus, but here's the thing. I see all these WikiLeaks just like you guys. I read a lot of this material that comes out on the internet, and I hear a lot of people that, you know, send me emails. I hear them out. But at the end of the day, we have to kind of dilute it down somewhat, and we have to get back to principles. Because with WikiLeaks to the side, even though the corruption's exposed and is detrimental and is evil and the depths are just limitless, we have to get back to the idea of democracy. And I think right now what we are actually witnessing through oligarchy practice is the death of democracy. And even though we're not a democratic society per se or whatever, we're a constitutional republic, you know, I think it's important that people understand that basically in a nutshell what's happening here is the DNC's been exposed time and time again. I mean, Tim Kaine ran it, Debbie Wasserman-Schultz ran it, and now Donna Brazile. And they're all tainted. And basically when they get knocked off the DNC chairman status, they get adopted back into the campaign. I mean, dude, we got a blood trail going behind Hillary Clinton. It's just ridiculous. Now, one of the things I found in my studies, venturing out into the world, is that Trump supporters are actually highly educated into how the political structure works, believe it or not. I've also gone to Hillary rallies. When you go to Hillary rallies, the thing I find to be the most craziest thing of all is when I'm standing there, whether we're having a civil conversation or we're yelling at each other, whatever the case is, I find them to always ask me, where's my proof? As if they don't have cell phones or computers and can't do the... So I not to cut these people down, but I find that they're uneducated somewhat and they're oblivious. And these are the Kim Kardashians of life. I mean, basically, these are the crowd that keep up with the Kardashians. They only care about Starbucks policies and stuff like that. I mean, they're surface people. They don't scratch the surface. But in a nutshell, at the end of the day, like what I see is oligarchy coming full scale. Basically, what they're doing is they're raping the system, and my sense here is that if we don't do something to actually put together a force to stop it, I mean, we're living in a society where if the NYPD has enough that they say they're going to go make arrests, and then they have to battle with the Department of Justice. Why is it that people aren't working together in the name of justice? Then you have Loretta Lynch,
the hidden civil war.
Yeah. So it's like, I honestly feel like I have a lot of, Joe, you guys probably know, I mean, I have a lot of people that follow me on Facebook that are patriots, active and active military, a lot of 1776ers and stuff like that. And I mean, a lot of these guys have blood in their eyes right now. It's like they're ready, you know what I mean? So it's like I get a lot of people asking me, what do we do? When do we do it? And I'm like, man, you got to wait for the shot to be heard around the world. So I do truly believe, and I'm not one to condone or incite violence, and so don't take me the wrong way, but I definitely feel that if Hillary Clinton's pretty much pushed into that office by the evil that runs this country, then we are definitely entering a time where that's the shot heard around the world. No,
I mean, I believe that if she sells this election, she gets in. I mean, like I said, I've been to numerous of these rallies, you know, Trump rallies, tons. Owen Schroyer, I know you've been to some, you know, Rob Dew's been to tons as well.
And I monitor them all day.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're not there, you can watch them, and you see the energy surrounding them. You see zero energy for Hillary Clinton. You see people trying to get people excited about it. When you go to a Donald Trump rally, people are, it's like a revival. Like, when you go to a Trump rally, it's like a revival. You stand outside, and people are, like, shouting in the line, jumping up and down, and like,
feel the mega energy rising!
USA is like, I am Sparta! USA. You know, everyone's sitting there in tense, like, screaming.
Lock her up!
Yeah.
Lock her up! Lock her up! Lock her up!
And that's all you see the entire time. There's such a movement behind it. So if somehow Donald Trump gets cheated, if Hillary Clinton steals this election, you will see some form of 1776. People will rise up, whether it be actual something on the streets, or will it be people, like I said earlier, clearly turning their back on her, not listening to her commands, saying, you know what, we're not going to follow you. I think that's one of the most powerful things, a statement that people could do, is the entire country you know, we see how there's this internal coup within the FBI and all this stuff, how people wanted to look into the Hillary Clinton thing and wanted to prosecute her, wanted to indict her. But then Comey still came out and said, no, no one would ever do this. No one would take this case. We're seeing an internal coup. So if somehow she cheats this, somehow she steals this, you will see people turn on her. They're not going to listen to her commands. They're not going to listen to her BS. And that will be so powerful. What do you say, Outlaw?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, and at the end of the day, if you think about it, imagine what she went through when she got the word that it wasn't Russia that hacked the server, when she got the word that it was actually U.S. intel working with Julian Assange to create this plethora of information that has flooded the internet. Imagine what went through her mind. I looked at a Milo video today where he basically recapped how many times she said Russia, and it was insane. I was just laughing the entire time, but what's not funny is severity of her message in itself. She even said, let's go to war with Russia. Cyber attacks, I'll go to war with Russia. And now it's like she looks like a big fat dummy. I mean, like you're sitting there like a pin the tail on the donkey looking kind of thing, you know? Like you said this millions of times that you're ready to go to war with Russia, and it turns out it wasn't Russia. It was people inside the United States that have had enough, and they're ready to end your reign of power. I mean, because here's the thing. If we don't stop this, man, and you guys are more in tune than most, I mean, so you know, the Soros of life, the J.P. Morgans, Sutherland, and J.P., you know, all these banks, they continue to reign. It's funny that she claims she doesn't work for these entities, but that's where all of her donors come from. I mean, at what point do we have to start holding people accountable is my main thing. I mean, when you see that someone's taking foreign money from foreign countries and there's influence in politics, and there's WikiLeaks saying we got major donors asking about executive orders, I think that should have sent up flags right there. But the problem is that this lady has had a reign of terror inside the political system that runs Washington for over 35 years. So she feels untouchable. And, you know, and let me just say this as well. You might have to bring Beyonce and Jay-Z to pack a place with 10,000 people, but there was 11,000 people to see Donald Trump, and he was by himself. So this is like a Ron Paul theory to me. There is this momentum that's behind this traffic of flow of people, and the volume of support, the magnitude is just insane. And we see it. It's tangible. You can view it. It's visual. No one shows up for Hillary, man. No one. So at the end of the day, if they slide her into office, like I said, I feel like that's a shot heard around the world. And for the sake of what this country was built on, and I would like to actually see it get back to that. You know, like the message has been skewed. Everybody, you know, oh, make America great again. That's racist. No, it's not. And the actual message behind that is that let's end the corruption in Washington, D.C. and get it back to the standard it was. We're looking at like the Carter-Reagan era here, dude. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm hoping in the end we get a rate, you know. So they're trying to say that Hillary's all up in these numbers. We know the system's rigged. We know the media lies to it, and that's why it's important that there's people like you guys, people like myself, people that are all throughout the internet that are boots on the ground. They're going out to these events. They're showcasing these events. They're monitoring all this stuff. They're trying to expose as much truth as they can. So we can't allow them to steal it from us. That's just where I'm at with it. So, you know, at the end of the day, she's a criminal. She's as corrupt as anyone could have ever been in politics. In my eyes, probably the most corrupt woman to ever touch politics. So, or not even woman. Let's not even put gender in the equation. She's the most corrupt person to ever have touched politics at this point. And I would personally, before I die in my lifetime, I would like to see this stopped. I mean, I have children. I'm sure, you know, you've got a baby on the way, Joe.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, that's my concern is that I'm afraid that we're literally watching the world that I grew up in die.
Yeah, that's great points, man. Love you, brother, man. You're like the twin I never knew I had, man. We're like identical. It was great seeing you up in D.C., man. It's good to meet other like-minded people, man. You know, when you guys can follow him on Facebook, Outlaw Morgan. He puts out videos all the time. Amazing talking points. So thanks for calling, brother. I appreciate it, man. It's been great to hear you.
All right, take care, bud.
All right, later, man.
All right, folks, so here's how the rest of this Saturday night emergency transition is going to go. If you guys want to just go ahead, we're not going to take any more callers. We'll take the callers we have on the line. We'll clear the callers. And then I'm going to sing a song I wrote. Joe, you're welcome to join me. The crew back there in the back is welcome to join me. I'm no vocalist.
What's the tune to?
We'll play the tune. Have you ever... Basically...
Have you ever heard the Imperial March?
Oh, dun, 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 dun.
No. It's not like that. No. This is on the air on Thursday, Alex Jones issued a challenge to the reporters here. How can we hijack the Cubs World Series victory? And I know how. I've got the song right here. We're going to steal it. But we're going to do that when we sign off the air. Before I take these calls, again, folks, we're going to be doing a live broadcast for 52 hours, Monday through Wednesday. The election special, 52-hour live broadcast. Make sure that you tune into that for the best election coverage, probably on the planet. And be sure to go to our store, InfoWarsStore.com. Best health products you can find for the best price. These are the products that I use. This is how you support this production, everything we do. Hiring people like Joe Biggs, myself.
You know where I saw these products at last? Haiti.
Really?
I kid you not.
They have them in Haiti?
Well, no, people there had them. Like Haitians. I was in Port-au-Prince, and I'm in the airport there. And I'm with Gary Haven, and maybe he has something to do with it. Maybe he's helped introduce the products to the Haitians. But we were doing a meeting talking about the events for the day. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, we're having breakfast, and we're talking about all our flight plan, where we're going to fly to, we're going to deliver food, what medevacs we have planned, who we're going to take out, who's injured. You know, the list of, you know, who should be up front, you know, based off, you know, spinal snaps, femur fractures, all that stuff. And I'm sitting here, and we're going through this meeting, and I look over, and I see X2, and I see Super Male Vitality, and I see Colloidal Silver sitting off in the corner, and we're in a Haitian airport office, and, you know, there's like the Haitian president or whatever, and all this stuff on all these pictures. And I'm like, whose is this? And it's this guy who's from Haiti. He's like, oh, it's mine. He's like, I love it. It's amazing. And I'm like,
it is amazing, though.
He goes, oh, I've been taking it for quite some time, since 2010. I'm like, are you serious? He goes, oh, yeah, all my friends take it now. I mean, so it's not just here. It's all over the place. Like, people love it.
Well, I can tell you, I don't know about you, a lot of these products have been called life-changing by the people that have taken them.
Definitely.
X2, Survival Shield X2 was life-changing for me. I take, honestly, almost every product that we offer, vitamin mineral fusion, selenium, DNA Force, silver. I mean, I take it all, but the X2 was a life-changing product for myself. I think that everybody should have that. Well, I think that for me, I mean, I drank tap water my whole life. I never thought that fluoride was bad for me or anything else that was in the water. Of course, you do the research, you find out, well, it's shocking, folks. I'll just leave it at that. You'll never want to drink out of the tap again. But the X2, you can use it. It gets the iodine that you need back in your system, and it helps fight the calcification of your pineal gland, which is essentially your third eye. It can open up. I'm telling you, the pineal gland is your soul. You can feel your spirit. You can feel your soul.
So that's how
when your pineal gland is activated.
That was your secret weapon against Carl the Cuck, huh?
All right, folks, there it is. Joe Biggs.
I've uncovered the secret. That's how you were able to take on AIDS Skrillex and Carl the Cuck.
Joe Biggs just outed me here on the air. It's true, folks.
That was your battle axe, man.
It's like
Thor.
Survival Shield X2 was the secret weapon for me in battling the liberals in the streets. It is true. So if you want the power, Survival Shield X2. Okay, so we're going to take the calls. We're going to clear this board. We're going to sing a little song, a little jingle. Does everyone in the back have your lyrics too? Daria just brought them all in. Does everyone have their lyrics? Who's ever going to sing with me? All right, we're
all singing.
We're all going to sing this song. We're going to hijack the World Series for the Cubs. All right, let's take these final callers. They've been so kind to wait for us to take them. Let's start off with Joe in North Carolina. Go ahead, Joe. All right, do we still have Joe? You there, Joe?
No.
All right, guys, let's try to get Dylan potted up from New Jersey since we no longer have Joe. All right, Dylan, do we have Dylan?
You hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah. Awesome. How you doing, guys? Awesome. Crazy, crazy world. I had 2 points that I needed to make. I actually own a nonprofit charity. I throw concerts. In the last 2 months, I have traveled the majority of this entire North America, from Canada down to Tijuana. Done a lot of traveling. I've seen the majority of this country, and let me tell you, besides New York, besides Los Angeles, where people are basically brain dead, to be honest, this entire highways are lined with Trump signs. Every single small town that I go into is completely filled with Trump supporters, Trump signs, with people, bumper stickers, every town in this entire country. I'm talking 90% of it is not all Los Angeles, New York. Even most of the Midwestern cities are all Trump.
And the whole world will know if they try to steal it. And that's exactly why. Because, again, you know, Joe talked about this earlier, how they try to demoralize you by pushing all these fake polls all day long, telling you Trump's losing, telling you Trump's racist, this false narrative. But we know if you just avoid the propaganda, it's easy to not fall for it. But you can't help it. It's human psychology. When it's just shoved in your face all day long, there's a certain acceptance. But all it is it's done to demoralize us. And people will know. That's why it will be the shot heard around the world, because everybody around the world will know that they stole this election from Donald Trump. Thank you so much for the call, Dylan. Sorry to keep you waiting all night. We got to pump through these callers. Let's go to Sharon in North Carolina now. Go ahead, Sharon.
Hey, Owen. Hey, Joe.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great.
Awesome.
It is. I wanted to make 2 points. One was about Loretta Lynch. With all these WikiLeaks and everything going on, you know, it's up to her to convene a grand jury. And I can't see her doing that before Inauguration Day.
Yeah.
So it'll be up to Trump to do it, which is fine because he's going to win. And I live in a little town in North Carolina, and you probably know what I'm talking about, Joe.
What little town?
Saluda. It's just outside of Asheville.
Yep.
And like most of this town is voting for Trump, but they're not telling anybody because you get a bunch of crap when you mention that.
Voter suppression.
I mean, just how crazy is that? We live in this time and age where people are so like they feel threatened to just be honest about who they like because of the backlash.
But they tell you you're the one that's doing the threatening.
I know.
Wow.
Well, like last night, for example. Wow.
I've been a lifelong Democrat, and I haven't voted in a lot of elections lately. I just couldn't. And when Trump came on board, and I have a lot of friends that are in the know, I mean, we're all voting for Trump. We're all talking about it. But a lot of Democrats aren't.
There you go. Really lifelong Democrats for Trump. We got one on the phone right now.
Yes, you do. And go Trump. I mean, the man does have gold cojones, and we are going like
Tonight
crazy.
showed that.
Web pages. Yeah, we're going on our web pages like crazy to support him. Another thing, Owen was asked by Alex tonight what he thought, you know, could be worse than what we've seen. I think the spider web that she's been involved in, and the corruption, the pedophilia. We had a guy in the next town over, and his child was taken away from him, and he went to go see the child, and the child's gone with no explanation. It's just gone. So I think killing children and the size of this spider web is really what could undo a lot of things.
It's going to be crazy. We've got just a few days left, just a few hours left. WikiLeaks dumps are just getting more powerful and more
31.
powerful. Who knows? I mean, like I said earlier, we didn't even fully digest the Project Veritas videos. Who knows what else they got up their sleeve? Thank you so much for the call, Tina, a lifelong Democrat that will be voting for Donald Trump.
Woo. Out
of North Carolina, Joe Biggs' hometown. All right, let's take our final call of the night, this Saturday night special. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. Let's go to Tina, who is here in Texas.
Hey, guys.
Hey there, Tina.
Thank you so much for the job that you do.
Well, thank you for your support.
Well, believe me, I'm proud to do it. I was a big Bernie fan, and a lot in part to y'all's reporting about the DNC robbing him of the nomination, and me just continuing to listen to your program, and opening my mind to the fact that Trump wasn't the monster he's been portrayed to be. Last week when I early voted here in Texas, Trump got my vote because we damn sure don't want Hillary in there.
Yeah, I think that is well understood by most people, despite what they try to tell you in the polls. Thank you so much for your call, Tina, who was a former Bernie supporter who will be supporting Trump. So our last two callers tonight, two Democrats that will be voting for Trump. Other than the Bush family, I don't think I know any Republicans that are going to be voting for Hillary Clinton.
want to see 10 million viewers tune in over the 50-plus hours, and that's where you come in. You are the heart and blood of the InfoWar. If you spread the link to Infowars.com/show and point out that this is the alternative new media, this is the rebellion, then all of you are riding right beside us, not behind us. So spread the word, my Paul Reveres, no matter where you live in the world. To information warfare arms, the globalists are coming, and they will be met on the field.
Out on the internet, and I hear a lot of people that, send me emails. I hear them out. But at the end of the day, we have to kind of dilute it down somewhat, and we have to get back to principles. Because with WikiLeaks to the side, even though the corruption's exposed and is detrimental and is evil and the depths are just limitless, we have to get back to the idea of democracy. And I think right now what we are actually witnessing through oligarchy practice is the death of democracy. And even though we're not a democratic society per se or whatever, we're a constitutional republic, I think it's important that people understand that basically in a nutshell what's happening here is the DNC's been exposed time and time again. I mean, Tim Kaine ran it.
Joe Biggs.
And I think I've got my my buddy on standby right now, Morgan. Is he patched in? All right, let's get Morgan on real quick. He's someone who's always got some really good stuff to say. Hey, Outlaw Morgan, you there?
Yes, man. How's it going, guys?
What's going on, man? What do you think about what's going on right now with this whole election, man? Like, what's going through your mind as someone who's out there every day like I am, like we are here at Infowars, reading the news, doing these videos. What do you see? What do you foresee happening?
Well, man, I'm no Nostradamus, but here's the thing. I see all these WikiLeaks just like you guys. I read a lot of this material that don't have cell phones or computers and can't do the – so I not to cut these people down, but I find that they're uneducated somewhat and they're oblivious. And these are the Kim Kardashians of life. I mean, basically, these are the crowd that keep up with the Kardashians. They only care about Starbucks policies and stuff like that. I mean, they're surface people. They don't scratch the surface. But in a nutshell, at the end of the day, like what I see is oligarchy coming full scale. Basically, what they're doing is they're raping the system. And my census here is that if we don't do something to actually put together a force to stop it, I mean, we're living in a society where the NYPD has enough that they say they're going to go. Debbie Watchman Schultz ran it, and now Donna Brazile, and they're all tainted. And basically, when they get knocked off the DNC chairman status, they get adopted back into the campaign. I mean, dude, we got a blood trail going behind Hillary Clinton. It's just ridiculous. Now, one of the things I found in my studies, venturing out into the world, is that Trump supporters are actually highly educated into how the political structure works, believe it or not. I've also gone to Hillary rallies. When you go to Hillary rallies, the thing I find to be the most craziest thing of all is when I'm standing there, whether we're having a civil conversation or we're yelling at each other, whatever the case is, I find them to always ask me, where's my proof? As if they don't make arrests, and then they have to battle with the Department of Justice. Why is it that people aren't working together in the name of justice? Then you have, Loretta Lynch.
The hidden Civil War.
Yeah. So it's like, I honestly feel like I have a lot of, Joe, you guys probably know, I mean, I have a lot of people that follow me on Facebook that are patriots. Active, inactive military, a lot of 1776ers and stuff like that. And I mean, a lot of these guys have blood in their eyes right now. It's like they're ready. You know what I mean? So it's like I get a lot of people asking me, what do we do? And when do we do it? And I'm like, man, you got to wait for the shot to be heard around the world. So I do truly believe, and I'm not one to condone or incite violence, and so don't take me the wrong